Morning, Angie.
Morning, Michael.
Ready to go? So, Angie, who are we visiting today?
We are visiting one of our breeders, Serenity Hill, and he raises Bernedoodles.
And he actually has a litter of Bernese Mountain Dogs.
He does.
And that was the plan. He's planning to keep a female back to help, to kind of add to the program.
So nothing is better from a breeder standpoint than being able to raise the puppy. The parent lineage. I shouldn't say nothing is better, but it is really it's rewarding. It's an underlying reward, and it's like kind of like a little
build lines and build a program, and
especially when you see them develop and grow, and then you've raised them, and I'm now at that point where I can say that I have raised some of my females are now of like a year, 2 years old, and I raised them, and I raised their mother. And it's pretty neat. It also tells you how old I'm getting, because all of that takes time. So that's the real truth.
Yeah.
Destiny's out here with the puppies. We let her know we were coming. These are 3.5-week-old F1 Bernedoodles. Here, Dusty, I'm going to hand you the mic so we can hear you. So she's out here. We have a beautiful day in Ohio, and she's doing their curriculum. So this is really great for them too, because they're getting a texture that we can't really give them except in the fall, which is crunchy grass. So they're doing excellent, aren't they?
They sure are.
Yeah. So
moving around, exploring, smelling. Such brave puppies.
What all did you do today with them, or what have you been working on?
Today we did sound therapy, and we cut nails and soft toys.
Yeah. And they got little sun, so a little vitamin D and crunchy grass.
Yes.
All of that is very natural. So our program and curriculum evolves a little bit as our weather allows us, and as we feel is right for the litter. They're doing really great. Even the little vocalization from them is really great, because they're being challenged a little bit, and those are all great signs at this stage. Week 3 is really a transition week from our first stage, which we call puppy pods, to the next stage, which we call baby beans, which I love, because that means that they are eyes open, ears open, and the little legs have happened, and so they get their strength. And it's almost like they come alive at that point. So it's kind of fun, because week 3 through week 6 is where the core curriculum happens, where they're really, really learning. And I almost say like every 12-hour advancement is like almost like a month in toddler development. It's so amazing how much they learn, how quickly. So we can have a little one at 3 weeks that may not be using its rear legs real well yet. By the end of week 3, they're running around. And they may also like not even engage with our soft toys, but by the end of the week, they're carrying them around. So it's just remarkable to watch how much they mature during that time. So the core part of week 3, which these little ones are in right now, is really about sound therapy. It's the biggest, I think it's one of the neatest pieces that we do, because the sound piece of it is when the ears have just opened up. I should go back a minute. Puppies are born as neonates. That means their eyes and ears finish development outside the womb. So actually their ear canals are completely tight. And so we have to wait for the ear to grow and open up the ear canal before they're actually able to hear. And so right around the 3-week window, they're all ears are generally open, and we are able to imprint them with some pretty loud sounds and things they'll encounter in life. We have to finish that sound therapy before week 4, because that's when their fear stage starts. So we have just really a snippet of time, 7 days, I guess, to really make an impression. And so what we do is they will listen to the sound for about 10 minutes while we're doing other things, while we're handling them, while they're playing. They're going to listen to these sounds. And there is research that proves that it does make a difference. So we do have families that their puppies experience fireworks and are never fearful. It's no guarantee. I always say what we do in our curriculum is really just about making impressions, making a sound a very strong approach to trying to give him a good foundation. We use Spotify for our puppy conditioning, and they listen to fireworks and sirens. What else?
Thunder.
Thunder,
And
that's a good one.
sirens.
And sirens, yeah, because we have a lot of puppies that go into the cities.
Yes.
So we want to try and give them the biggest opportunity to be successful. So they'll listen to their sound. This is the rain, but the fireworks is my favorite. Are you just so cool? You're so used to, oh, there's a little head movement. Ears are moving back and forth. So these pups are nearing the end. They're 3.5 weeks, so they're nearing the end of the first stage. So they've been listening to sound. So it's not quite, the response isn't quite as sharp as it is in the beginning. But what we're looking for, a lot of times we will see vocalization. So they may bark, they may twitch their ears, they may move around. They may try to find and hide, find a place of safety. But usually by the end of the week, they're doing really well with it. The other piece at week 3, we also start our puppy massage. So we handle them. It's very soft and tender at this point. We start by a reverse pet up the back, across the head, tap their little nose, open their mouth. Ooh, checking for teeth. And if you want to zoom in, I can see two little, I can see the buds are there. They just haven't broken through. And so we check for teeth. So this is for grooming and for vet. We rub their ears. At this point at 3 weeks, we're just rubbing. But later on, like week 5, 6, we'll actually start to add a little tug to it. They go on their back. Good job. Yeah. And we rub down each paw, making sure that we separate the paw pads. So again, for grooming, but just making sure that they're well conditioned. They've been handled well. And then down the back, the tail, I like to curl the tail and tug. So we increase, this follows them till all the way to the time they go home. And we actually send a guide home and ask our families to continue it. So at this point, they learn, week 3, they listen to sound. They get their puppy massage, and they also start to get toys. So we start very gently. Everything about our program is about molding and shaping and very gentle approach. And so they get little toys. These are little soft, beautiful little things. In the beginning, they just kind of nuzzle and like push them around. But by the end, they're actually carrying them around. And sometimes between like 3 to 4 week transition, we'll get a little tugging in place. So they'll start to tug. But the neatest piece about our program and how Destiny works through it with the puppies is making sure that every puppy has a voice, has a choice, and making sure that they have good experiences all the way through. So if a puppy seems to have some fear in some way or is not comfortable, then she spends a little more time with that puppy getting it into working really well with the others. And so it's just really watching the energy, like kind of scanning the room, I say. You got to watch who's showing interest, who's not showing interest. Some of it has to do if they ate, if they just were sleeping. But they're generally worked about 15 to 20 minutes every day. And so it makes such a difference in their outcome. So week 3 is all about sound, about gentle touch, about soft toys. And the last piece we do is trim their nails. So we try to trim their nails every 10 to 14 days. Why do we do that? One, it is for future, for families. Again, conditioning is everything. So the more we can touch them and expose them, the better off we are. But 2, it also keeps puppy to puppy interaction safe. So no little daggers or little sharp claws will cause a puppy to have an injury. And also they're still nursing. So we're waiting for these teeth to erupt to start their puppy mush. But when they start to push on the mother to let the milk down, if their nails are trimmed, it keeps her undercarriage very clean and free from openings, which could eventually end up to some infection potentially. So all of everything that we do is just about trying to set them up for success. Destiny does a wonderful job working with these puppies. She's great with them. There's a whole series to what we do. Every stage, every week has a new advancement. So every week they get something different. So next week they would be 4 weeks old, and at 4 weeks old in the curriculum they get to have 2 like rope toys,
Obstacle course to climb
That's
over.
right, obstacle course. Because we're working on the mobility. So we want to make sure our puppies all have a good chance to get that rear strength. A little interesting piece is when pups are born, the little back legs really have not a lot of strength to them. And they're like little seals, I call them. Like they just kind of flap back behind and they move only with their front legs. So getting their little legs is what we call it. Right around 3 weeks, they start to look like little drunken sailors. They waddle this way and waddle that way. So we have obstacle courses for them so that they can have to problem solve and also work on that rear strength. And those little hedgehog pods are in there. So they kind of have like a little texture as well if their paws hit it or their nose. So that's what they're transitioning into. Remember that the sound therapy is only week 3. We don't continue it at week 4, but occasionally like 6, 7, 8, we will introduce it just for short intervals, just for them to kind of like recall, I guess is a good word. But really week 6, 7, they're outside if our weather is suitable for them. And then they're hearing natural sounds. So airplanes, cars and trucks, things like that. So hopefully their response will be very positive at that point. So that is the wrap up of what we do at week 3. We appreciate you hanging out with us and continue to watch for future videos.